I told y'all about the pendulum. When things veer really left, like really left, like they have in the past decade, moving really left, inevitably they're going to swing really right. It's the law of opposites. And today we're looking at gay marriage being overturned. I don't personally think it's going to get overturned, but sure, we'll talk about it today. But what does my gay marriage have to do with anybody? What does me being married to the man I love in a monogamous union where we are both sober, we are both in service to the community, we're stand-up members of our community, law-abiding, we're both recovered addicts. What does our marriage have to do with anybody else? But to you married people out there, your marriage has nothing to do with me, even though I think some of y'all shouldn't be married. You obviously hate each other. Jeff and Shalea, anyone. But what does my gay marriage have to do with anybody else? That's a good question. That's a good question. So we're going to talk about this whole issue today. Is gay marriage going to be overturned? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I mean, my husband and I are like, wow, I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think I could get married in my lifetime. So if it does get overturned, I mean, at least there was a brief period in American history where gay people were allowed to get married. Pretty cool, huh? Never thought it was going to happen. So today on the Shaman Patrick Show, we're going to talk about that and what my gay marriage has to do with anybody else. Are you ready? Let's go.
He was once a storm in human form, sharp tongue, cold soul, heart worn and torn, living like a ghost who missed his grave till the spirit sang out and called him brave. He got rewired by the great unknown, heard the call like a dial tone to the bone. So pull up a chair, enjoy the glow. This is the Shaman Patrick Show.
Let me tell you a secret about gay people. Realizing you're gay is a very difficult thing. It's not fun for anybody. Imagine having to grapple with that shit when you're very young, like 13, 14, 15, 16. Some people don't even realize it until they're much older. I don't know the reason why God makes people gay. I just know that there are gay people. Being one myself, it was not easy for me to realize that I was gay. It was actually pretty devastating. There was a lot of grief, a lot of shock, a lot of horror. Like, oh God, how am I going to be gay in this world, in this town? I realized I was gay in Kentucky. And then I came out in a small Indiana town, like 7,000 people. It was hell on earth. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Because I wanted to be honest with people. I wanted to be honest, and plus hiding who you are makes you sick. It makes you sick. I've spent most of my life trying to be as honest as I possibly can. So realizing that you're gay is something that I don't want anybody to have to go through. Like if you're an out gay person today, that takes a lot of courage. And it doesn't matter if society accepts you. It doesn't matter if other people accept you. You have to accept yourself in here. For those out there that think you can pray the gay away, you can't. I tried. I was in a psych ward for sexual identity crisis in the 80s. And I had a psychiatrist who loaded me up on anti-seizure meds and Thorazine. They deadened me. Like they put me on all these drugs when I was 16 years old. And I remember having one friend, this really good female friend, and she knew what I was going through. But when they put me in the psych ward and then I came out of that psych ward, I was drooling. And she saw me and she put her hands on my cheeks and just held my head. And she said, "Honey, what did they do to you? What did they do to you? She was crying. I was so doped up. I didn't know how to cry anymore. They just, and see, here's the thing. I didn't want to be gay back then either. I knew it had a lot of consequences, social consequences, bullying, harassment. Coming out as gay in the 80s could get you motherfucking killed. And so I didn't want to be gay, and I don't blame the doctors. I don't blame my parents. They were like going along with my wishes. My mother figured out I was gay, and she asked me, honey, do you think you're gay? I mean, I didn't want to be gay. So most gay people don't want to be gay at first, but eventually you learn how to accept yourself. You learn how to accept it. You know, my life as a gay man has been incredibly rich and rewarding. And I have done a lot for people in my life. I have helped people get sober. I have helped people heal from deep, deep wounds. I've also been an example that you don't have to be a sex-crazed homosexual to be gay. And culminating in the marriage with my husband, Merrick. I can't believe that happened in my lifetime. And, you know, when Merrick and I decided to get married, it was because my mother was dying, and he wanted my mother to know that her son, he wanted my mother to meet her son-in-law, wanted to know that I was able to get married and get sober in my lifetime. And the last time that I saw my mother alive, she got to meet my new husband. It was very special to me, very special to Merrick. And probably if my mom had not been so sick, it would have been very special to her. Yes, my mother was crazy. Yes, she was addicted to Xanax, but she was still my mother, and I loved her very much. I miss my mother. I miss who I thought my mother was. I'll be clear about that. So when my husband and I got married, we did it in Kentucky, in my hometown. When we went to the courthouse, they really didn't want to marry us. They didn't act excited. You know, I said, we'd like to get married. And the clerk was like, she didn't really want to do it. I mean, I kind of couldn't believe it was going on. Nobody in my family except for my aunt was present. She was one of our witnesses. The clerk was present. It was like kind of just not a big deal at all. Wasn't even a big deal. In fact, it was such not a big deal that some people don't even know that it really happened. And I'm going to show you, this is a wedding video. This is our wedding. I'm going to show it to you. And you know, my aunt recorded the video of it. This was our wedding. This was our wedding day. And I'm going to show you that video now.
Hands for me. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Marriage is an institution of divine appointment and is considered honorable among all people. It's the most important step in life, and it shouldn't be entered into unadvisedly, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. Now, in this estate, I've got William and Mary who come this afternoon to be joined together. I require, and I charge you both, that you hope for joy and peace in your marriage. Either of you know any reason why y'all cannot be joined in the lawful bonds of matrimony? And if you do, you should tell me now. Is there any reason y'all cannot be married?
No.
And is it the will of each of you to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, all right then. So William, will you take Mary to be your lawful partner, and will you promise before these two witnesses that you would love, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Okay. And then, Merrick, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Will you take William to be your lawful partner, and will you promise before these witnesses that you would love, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Okay. All right, we're not doing rings, so we'll just go ahead and finalize this in. William and Merrick, in the presence of these witnesses, have consented together to be joined in the lawful bonds of matrimony in accordance with the laws of the state of Kentucky. So I would hope for you all that your relationship will prosper and things will go well for you. So at this time, I pronounce that you all are joined in the lawful bonds of matrimony. So you all may kiss or however you want to sort it. All right.
Oh, I better hold it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to sign this original license for you.
Y'all look at me and I'll make a picture.
What y'all need to do is go from here.
And that was it. I mean, my aunt didn't take it. So everybody just kind of treated it like it was a joke. But Merrick and I didn't treat it like it was a joke. It was the best day of my life. Like I remember that day and him looking at me and me looking at him and being so in love with each other. And we weren't really sure if our families were going to interfere. One of the reasons we got married was to save us from our dysfunctional families. I mean, because my parents had gotten me locked into a mental institution before, and I was kind of afraid that they would do that again. And Merrick's family had hinted that they would find a way to pull us apart. So we got married because I didn't want him to end up in a mental institution. He didn't want me to end up in a mental institution. We both came from very sick families. And so us being able to get married was like some protection for us, some protection so that our families, because I know that if my parents were still alive, I wouldn't be able to do this YouTube channel. They would see to it. They would find some way to stop it. And the same, probably this, I mean, I don't know why, but that's just the reality of it. We got married because it was going to be easier for us to live together and pay bills and file taxes and do all that stuff. Plus, it's nice to have a husband. I mean, I had a boyfriend, a lover, and all that kind of stuff before, but this was a husband. This was like, we have to make this work because we're married now. It was very good for our relationship. We knew that we had to work on our stuff because it wasn't going to be easy to break up. While editing this video, I couldn't believe that I forgot that my husband and I, we renewed our vows during 2020. Since our family and our friends weren't able to be there in the chapel with us, we got remarried. We renewed our vows in Animal Crossing, New Horizons, with my brother-in-law and one of Merrick's childhood friends and one of my friends. And so I'm going to show you a portion of that now.
Hello and welcome everyone, tuning in virtually and also to our in-person guests, Rainey and Alec. Thank you for joining us. Today we are gathered to witness Merrick and Patrick as they renew their commitment and marriage to one another. Today marks the second anniversary of their wedding day, and they are excited to share with friends and family in a renewal of commitment to one another. A marriage, as most of us understand it, is a voluntary and full commitment. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others, and it is entered into with desire and hope that it will last for life. Merrick and Patrick, both you declare your vows. Before you declare your vows to one another, I want to hear you confirm that it is indeed your intention to renew your commitment today. Merrick, do you come here freely and without reservation to renew your vows of marriage with Patrick? And do you promise to stand by Patrick's side at all times, in sickness and in health, for better and for worse, for richer and poorer? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Patrick, do you come here freely and without reservation to renew your vows of marriage with Merrick? And do you promise to stand by Merrick's side at all times, in sickness and in health, for better and for worse, for richer and for poorer? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Merrick and Patrick, having heard that it is your intention to renew your bond of marriage to each other, I now ask you to declare your marriage vows. Please face each other and hold hands. Merrick, please repeat after me. I, Merrick, take you, Patrick, to be my husband.
I, Merrick, take you, Patrick, to be my husband.
I will share my life with yours
I will share my life with yours
and build our dreams together.
and build our dreams together.
Support you through times of trouble
Support you through times of trouble
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
I promise to give you
I promise to give you
respect,
respect,
and loyalty.
love, and loyalty.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made new every day of our lives.
and made new every single day of our lives.
Patrick, please repeat after me. I, Patrick, take you, Merrick, to be my husband.
I, Patrick, take you, Merrick, to be my husband.
I will share my life with yours,
I will share my life with yours,
build our dreams together,
build our dreams together,
support you through times of trouble,
support you through times of trouble,
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
I promise to give you respect, love, and loyalty.
I promise to give you respect, love, and loyalty.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made new every day of our lives.
and made new every day of our lives.
May your life together be blessed with prosperity and good health. May you always share open and honest communication between each other. May you respect each other's individual talents and gifts, and give full support to each other's professional and personal pursuits. May you cherish the home and family you will continue to create together. May all the years to come be filled with moments to celebrate and renew your love. May your love be a lifelong source of excitement, contentment, affection, respect, and devotion to one another. It is my honor and delight to declare you husband and husband, just as you did 2 years ago. You may now reseal this declaration with a kiss. I am pleased to present the not-so-newlyweds, Mr. and Mr. Jacobson.
Yay. Thank you all for coming to this informal reception. This is a little koala that wandered in. Babe, would you like some cake?
Yes, sweetie.
Okay.
Yes, please. I would love some.
As you will see that on your table there is. And so if Merrick and I were not able to get married and have a traditional wedding, at least we got to renew our vows in Animal Crossing. And we actually streamed that on Zoom for the rest of our family and friends. And that is the kind of gay marriage that we have and had and still have and will have. So back to the video. Like it used to be, like gay relationships were like, hey, see you later, bro. Like there wasn't an opportunity for like a commitment like this. And I used to be kind of against gay marriage because I was like, why do we want to be like the straights? And I was like that until I found somebody that I actually did want to marry and spend the rest of my life with. And that is why I think gay marriage is so important, because it does give us gays the opportunity to commit to another person and live out the rest of our lives enjoying all the benefits that heterosexual couples get. And I think it's just fair. I think it's right, because you're not going to be able to stop people from being gay, and you're not going to be able, I think it was the nicest thing this country could do to the gays, because gay people have to put up with a lot of fucking bullshit. And I thought it was kind of like nice. I thought it was sweet. It made me believe in America. It really did. And Lord knows the Democrats never wanted us to get married, because that would have taken away our victim status. And I kind of suspect that the Democrats are behind this as well, which I'll get into later, because the Democrats never wanted us to have our full rights, because we would no longer be victims anymore. And if we were no longer victims, us married gays, well, we might defect to the Republican Party. And a lot of gays did defect to the Republican Party. Not just gays, but a lot of people defected from the Democrat Party, because the jig was up on all that shit. Like, we see it clearly. It's crazy town over there. So I don't think that gay marriage will be overturned, because what does it have to do with y'all, with other people at all? And there's not that many gay people in America. There's not, and it's not my fault that Democrats, liberals have been rubbing it in your face. And I think that's the reason why they've been rubbing it in your face, because they want us to go back to victim status. They want us to have rights to fight for. And I think that's sick. I think the only reason they were rubbing it in people's faces, which I disagree with, I don't think there should be gay education in school. I don't think there should be trans education in school. Why? Because I know that if a young man or a young woman realizes that they are gay, you can't stop them from being gay. You don't have to talk to gay kids about being gay. Every gay person I know realized it on their own, and we didn't have to be accepted. It's kind of like a rite of passage for a gay person. I came out when it was not accepted. I came out when it was not even talked about or even celebrated. Coming out as gay had consequences back then. And it kind of made me who I am today. So I'm against promoting homosexuality to kids. Leave the fucking kids alone. Leave the kids alone. Let them be kids. But I also know that since I realized I was gay at a young age, I know that maybe other kids might realize it. Has nothing to do with me. Because I know that God has got everybody. God has got everybody, whether you're gay, straight, black, Chinese, whatever. God has got you. And whatever you're going through, you're on a particular path. Realizing you're gay is the worst thing. But here's another thing. Let me tell you what homophobia does to society. So you can't stop people from being gay. You can't. You're just not going to be able to do that. So I think being accepting of gay people, being acceptance of gay marriage is the best way to go about it. Because if you don't, what happens? Well, you create an underworld of gay men who feel like they have to marry women. And a woman who gets married to a gay man that's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And plus then you have the down low phenomenon where men are pretending to be straight, but they're having sex with men. Yeah, you don't want to set that up for people. That's extremely destructive to marriages and to the family unit. It's to not be accepting or letting people be gay. It actually creates more problems than it solves. I mean, I myself have been involved with several closeted, down low gay men, some of whom were married, some of whom had girlfriends. It's common. It's prevalent. There are many married men who are on the down low. And the reason they get married to women is because they feel like they have to. So I think that being accepting of gay people and being understanding that you can't pray the gay away, that people are going to be gay, even if you don't want people to be gay, the people are just going to be gay. I mean, it's actually not even that big of a deal. It's actually not a problem. But the Christians have made it a problem. And they keep making it a problem. And now it's a problem. But I suspect there's something behind this that we're not able to see so clearly. So I'm going to look at some news stories now, and I'm going to pick one. Let's go to the New York Post. Why not? Why not? And the New York Post, ex-Kentucky clerk Kim Davis asks Supreme Court to overturn same-sex marriage ruling. Legal fiction. Now, this woman, I'm not going to use any derogatory terms, even though I could. It's always women like this, the dream killers, the women who want the sanctity of marriage. She was divorced. I think she was divorced a couple times. And look at the way she treats herself. She doesn't even treat her own body with sanctity. Look at her. She looks a damn mess. Kim, when we live in Dunkin' Donuts, we shouldn't throw stones. I mean, look at this. Now, if she took her body and her appearance seriously, this might have a little weight. But Kim, come on, you don't even respect yourself. How do you expect us to believe that you respect the sanctity of marriage? I think she's a little bit of a psyop, a Democrat psyop. But here she is again. Kim Davis, the former Kentucky clerk who violated the rights of a gay couple, has petitioned the Supreme Court to revisit its landmark decision on same-sex marriage, slamming the ruling as legal fiction. Davis, 59, served 5 days in jail in 2015 after she refused to issue a marriage license to gay couple David Ermold and David Moore shortly after the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage nationwide in the Obergefell versus Hodges case. The former Rowan County, Kentucky clerk was subsequently ordered to pay a $100,000 jury verdict for emotional damages and $260,000 in attorney's fees to the married couple. She asked the high court in a 90-page filing last month to review a lower court's 2022 finding that she violated Emerald and Moore's constitutional right to marry and revisit its decision in the same-sex marriage case. If ever a case deserved review, the first individual who was thrown in jail post-Obergefell for seeking accommodation for her religious beliefs should be it. Liberty Counsel, the nonprofit law firm representing Davis, wrote in the petition. Davis was jailed, hailed before a jury, and now faces crippling monetary damages based on nothing more than purported emotional distress. The filing continued, arguing that Davis was protected by her First Amendment rights to freedom of speech and religion in denying the marriage licenses. The petition also asked the justices to consider whether Obergefell versus Hodges and the legal fiction of substantive due process should be overturned. Kim Davis's case underscores why the U.S. Supreme Court should overturn the wrongly decided Obergefell versus Hodges opinion because it threatens the religious liberty of Americans who believe that marriage is a sacred union between one man and one woman. Mal Staver, the founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, said in a statement, Obergefell cannot just push the First Amendment aside to punish individuals for their beliefs about marriage. The First Amendment precludes making the choice between your faith and your livelihood. The High Court now has the opportunity to finally overturn this egregious opinion. William Powell, an attorney for Emerald and Moore, told the Post that he is confident the Supreme Court would take up Davis's case. We are confident the Supreme Court, like the Court of Appeals, will conclude that Davis's arguments do not meet further attention. Powell, who serves as senior counsel at Georgetown's University Institute for Constitutional Advocacy and Protection, said in a statement, marriage equality is settled law. The Supreme Court previously denied a 2020 petition from Davis to consider her appeal. When was this article written? This was written August 11th. So personally, I don't think that that they're going to overturn gay marriage. I don't think so. But let me hear from a commenter about what they think. Now, this is from Vosh. I think Vosh is kind of controversial. I don't even know. But I just want to watch somebody else talk about this.
All right. It finally happened.
Ruled in favor of same-sex marriage across the United States. It could now be overturned. Senior Washington correspondent Devin Dwyer is on the story for us. All right, give us the deal, Devin. Who is actually asking the justices to overturn this?
Well, in recent years, Kira, we've been waiting for a case like this as some of the sentiment in the country has started to shift a little bit.
Now, whenever they say these politically charged times or that public sentiment has started to change about it, they're just making that shit up. Like, people are busy. Like, the majority of people do not give a shit about this. They are too busy trying to pay their bills, save their houses, feed their kids or whatever. Most people don't even have time to think about gay marriage at all. Like, people don't think about gay people all that much. Gay people are rare. It's rare. This ain't even worth fucking talking about at all.
Softened, rather, against same-sex marriage. There's been a lot of talk about whether the justices will get a chance to reconsider the case. And as you said there, they are getting that opportunity next month. We've learned that Kim Davis, she's that Kentucky clerk from back in...
That Kentucky. We got married in Kentucky. And Kim Davis, she's not in our town, but Kim Davis.
2015 that was at the center of international controversy when she refused to issue marriage licenses.
Look, she's been married. She looks like a white grimace. She doesn't take care of herself. She doesn't take care of her body. She looks miserable. She's one of those people that create suffering in her own life and suffering in the lives of others. She's delusional. We know this about her. But I suspect that since Democrats do not want gay marriage, like it's a cornerstone of their party, Democrats do not want marginalized people to ever become unmarginalized. Do you see that? Because if you become unmarginalized, you enter this equality. Because this is America is a constitutional republic. It's not exactly a democracy. But if any of those subgroups and those grievances and those the Democrats need you to stay a victim. They need you to be marginalized. So for a very brief period of time, gay people were no longer marginalized. And so when gays were allowed to get married, that fucking took a huge chunk of their potential victims away from them. Because I know when I was able to get married, there was, okay, there's nothing left for me to fight for. There's nothing left for me to rail against. I didn't become a Republican. I didn't become a conservative. I still was like, oh, I don't have to worry about this anymore. Gays can get married now. Okay, well, what are the Democrats going to do at that point? And so maybe we can push trans people. I don't know, but it's the pushing of it. You know, like it's why does this have to be pushed on people? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Well, I know why it has to be pushed on people, because they want to rub it in people's faces and get them angry, get this thing overturned so that gay men and women can go back to being marginalized again. They please marginalize gay men and women again. Like I've loved the past 7 years of my marriage, and sobriety. I've enjoyed it immensely. It has been lovely. I talk about my husband with people all the time. Nobody bats an eye because nobody cares. Sane people don't care about this at all.
To a gay couple in Kentucky, in defiance of the Supreme Court, she spent 6 days in.
Maybe TERFs will learn the consequences of what they advocate for. Dog, TERFs have never existed. It's just been reactionaries. Lesbians, cisgender lesbians, are more pro-trans than trans people. TERFs wanted this. They're just conservatives. It was always a psyop.
Jail. She lost a defamation suit. She had to pay $100,000 in damages, $260,000 in legal fees. That's what she's appealing to the Supreme Court, but it's the first time.
Why not start a GoFundMe, Kim? Why not just start a GoFundMe? Can somebody start a GoFundMe for Kim so that, because she's saying that she wants to reclaim her legal fees. I've read a little bit about this, know a little bit about it, but she's saying it's the legal fees and loss of income. Start a GoFundMe, honey. You can do it. I've seen people start GoFundMes for less. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, but see, I don't know why a Christian group didn't already pay for her legal fees. See, something ain't right. Something is sus and suspicious with all of this.
Time, Kira, that anyone has technically asked the justices explicitly to overturn Obergefell v. Hodges, which was that landmark ruling, and she does.
Why are TERFs the first thing that come to your mind? Yeah, why do people always do, like, why is it that this, like, weird made-up sub-community of transphobes from the island of Britain, why is that the thing that comes up, right? Like, the people who hate gay marriage are just conservatives. Like, it's overwhelmingly, like, religious conservatives.
But I don't think it's conservatives. I know plenty of conservative people who are okay with gay marriage. I mean, even the people at our local gun store, when we went in there to buy our first gun, they were extremely welcoming. They were lovely people. Nobody cares that my husband and I are gay, and we live in MAGA country. Like, nobody cares. But you know who does care? Man, these Christians, it bends them out of shape. These Christians who hate gay marriage, who are against gay marriage, isn't there a better way that you could spend your time?
It's getting pretty old.
Isn't there a better way you can spend? Gay people are so fucking rare. We're the only gay people that live in our neighborhood that we know of. It's not that rare. Now, in Chicago, in bigger cities, there is gay people like everywhere. Like, in Chicago, you couldn't throw a quarter without hitting a gay guy. And I think a lot of people moved out of Chicago after 2020. But anyway, gay people are not all that common. They're not that. And see, you can't turn somebody gay and you can't turn somebody not gay. So just let the gay people be gay and live their lives. I mean, I don't care what you think, but you know, all that activism, all those people that came for your kids, gay people don't fucking want that shit. We want to leave the kids alone. Let the kids be kids. That has nothing to do with me at all. I don't even like kids all that much. But if you realized that people are just gonna be gay no matter what you do, and if you take away gay marriage, what does it do? Do people are gay? You say that you care so much about the sanctity of marriage. Well, look at this little McNugget buddy looking woman right here. She don't even care about her own body or the sanctity of her health or even her own marriage. How many times has she been divorced? I want to look this up because I think that I don't think she's upright. Look at this shit. Kim Davis, the former Rowan County, Kentucky clerk who gained notoriety for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples, has been divorced 4 times. Her third husband is the biological father of twins she had with her first husband. She was also ordered to pay $100,000 in damages to a same-sex couple she denied a marriage license. Kim Davis has been married 4 times. Her third husband is the biological father of twins she had with her first husband. See, she's a cheater. She's a, this has got to be a psyop, because I'm pretty sure that adultery is a sin. So she's a hypocrite. Number one, she's a hypocrite. And number two, you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass Dunkin' Donuts. Kim, that's the thing. Like, if it was coming from a moral, upright, upstanding citizen, but no, it's coming from this bitch, this mean, nasty woman who creates suffering in her life and in the lives of others.
You know, TERFs are like, that's such a side bit, you know? They're on the bench. Are they going to unmarry people? No, they wouldn't be revoking existing marriage licenses. That would be insane. It would probably, like, the thing the Supreme Court would probably allow if they ruled against us would be for states to be able to make future homosexual marriages unlawful.
And that's wild too, because did you know that black and white people couldn't get married at one point? They were not allowed to get married. Let me look up this. Let me look this up. Let me show you this. In the United States, interracial marriages between a black person and a white person, they were once illegal in many states due to certain laws. I can't pronounce that. The Supreme Court case, Loving versus Virginia, in 1967, struck down these laws, legalizing interracial marriage nationwide. Today, while attitudes towards interracial marriage have become more accepting, some challenges and biases may still exist. This is in 1967. That was not long ago. That was not long ago at all. I mean, that was just like 5 years before I was born. So can you imagine if, like, it would, overturning gay marriage, which is a civil rights issue. Let's be clear. I don't care if you think that being gay is wrong. I don't care if you think it's being wrong. I think being this big of an overweight mess is wrong. Now, if we want to get real clear on each other's lifestyles, I think anybody who treats themselves this way, that is an abomination. I disagree with Kim Davis's lifestyle, because she eats, she's very unhealthy. She eats like a hog. She's very unhealthy. I personally think that's an abomination. Her and her husband are both abominations in the eyes of God, because gluttony is a sin. There we go. It's a race to the bottom. We can disagree with how each other lives our lives all we want. Okay? And what does it get us? Nothing. Just nastiness. I mean, I was 50 pounds overweight and I was in so much pain, I wanted to die. So Kim, how could you? I know you're in pain, honey. I know it hurts. And I want you to know that Jesus loves you and that God has got your back, but you do not need to project your misery out into the world, honey. God loves you. God loves you a whole lot. Get help.
Are the gay Republicans now? They don't care.
Just that, her counsel in this petition, which was filed last week, says that decision was egregiously wrong. And if that sounds familiar, that's the same type of argument that was made by opponents of abortion when they sought to overturn Roe versus Wade just a few years ago.
Now, I think abortion and gay marriage are two completely different things. And even though I'm adopted and my birth mother could have had an abortion, she told me that she would have had an abortion if it was allowed for her to get an abortion in 1972. She would have gotten an abortion. I'm personally glad that she didn't. So I'm glad that there are some breaks on abortion, because I know this to be true. Babies want to be born, but that's my political belief based on my experience and beliefs. I'm kind of glad I was born. And my husband is glad I was born too. And I know some of you out there are glad I was born.
So a lot of eyes on this petition. It's unclear whether the court will take it up, but certainly a lot on the line.
Well, is there any indication that justices will consider hearing arguments?
Well, a lot of the legal experts I've talked to say there's no chance the Supreme Court will want to wade into this. But, you know, the climate that we're in right now, anything can happen. Certainly, we are in the midst of a campaign against same-sex marriages across.
I see they make it sound like it's a bigger deal than it is, because the Democrats need, because see here, when you get sober, and when you do inner work, when you do shadow work, and you start to see reality as it actually is, you start to see that there's something behind everything. There's a reason why this is coming up right now, and what is it like? I'm more curious about why it's even coming up at all, because obviously normal, sane, rational people do not care if gay people get married. I mean, people don't think about gay people all that much unless they are gay themselves. So, now that I've said that, there's got to be a reason why they're making it a big deal. Are they bringing it to the Supreme Court to finally put it to bed for good and say it's settled? There's no reason to ever do this again. Gay people can get married. This is America, land of the free and home of the brave. We have freedom of religion here. What if my religion is that in my religion, I should be able to marry my husband? That's part of my religion. Why is my freedom of religion less than Kim Davis's freedom of speech and religion?
Across the country, at least 9 states so far have either passed legislation seeking to end those rights or specifically asked the Supreme Court, send resolutions to the Supreme Court asking them to revisit. You saw the Southern Baptist Convention, the nation's largest Protestant Christian group, just last month. They voted to make overturning Obergefell a top priority. So
what? Don't y'all have something better to do? Aren't there hungry that need feeding? Aren't there poor people? Aren't there homelessness that need shelter? What have gay people done to you? Usually, people who are this obsessed with gay people are obsessed. They're gay themselves. Otherwise, why would you care? Has nothing to do with you. And again, it's not my fault that they push this shit out into the media. It's not my fault that they had, we were in the Walmart a couple years, maybe, I don't know time, but they had a makeup display, and on that makeup display was men wearing makeup. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is a conservative town. This is a spiritual, a religious town. Why are you rubbing this shit into people's faces? There ain't even many gay people in our town. Who the fuck would that even appeal to? If it was only designed to rub it in people's faces or part of a communist takeover. It made no sense then. It makes no sense now.
There's a renewed effort by activists in this space to try to get the attention of the Supreme Court. And a lot of them, Kira, are pointing to comments by Justice Clarence Thomas, the senior conservative, who after the Dobbs decision, the one that overturned abortion rights in this country, he said in his opinion that he thinks it's time to take a look again at marriage rights. So anything can happen. It's on the table. But most legal experts think that the chances are less likely than not, Kira.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they've decided to take on the case in the first place, which is insane. I sincerely doubt the conservatives on the court were interested in taking this case just for them to go, oh, no, never mind.
Well, maybe they want to take it so that they can say, okay, well, we heard you, Kim. Now, please go back to the Burger King of your choice and live out the rest of your life. And, oh, honey, go start a GoFundMe.
And then leave it as it is. Seems unlikely. Most legal experts are morons and can't read the room. True. Very true.
That's
very,
true.
very true.
That's true.
Kim fucking Davis. This name should be consigned to the annals of history. Why
No shit. I never thought I was going to have to hear of her again.
do I have to hear it again? Wait, if my girlfriend is trans, does that mean our marriage will be straight? How the should I know? I don't know what your gender is. I don't know what the deal is. It depends. Does the state you're... I mean, theoretically, if you are a cisgender woman and you have a trans...
But obviously, you know, it says here that she was jailed on religious grounds. I mean, obviously, she's one of those Christians that doesn't practice. She's a convenient Christian, a hippo Christian. I mean, obviously.
Woman girlfriend, and you're in a state that doesn't recognize trans people. You could have a straight marriage, right?
What if the person... What if Kim Davis fell in love with a gay guy when she was younger, and she's had a bone to pick with gay guys ever since? And that's what this is all about. Because why would you care?
I don't know. It's a mess. I can't believe they took this case. Of all the ways Obergefell could potentially be overturned, for it to be a fucking appeal from Kim Davis.
No shit. That is wild. But maybe that's why, because it's not going to be overturned, and this is silly.
Oh my God. Look at her forehead. Look at this ugly ass bitch, man. Honestly, it doesn't look like... Oh wait, never mind. This is a...
Now, for those of you who might be upset that people are commenting on her looks, maybe y'all don't remember how vicious this woman was at the time. But, I mean, it is what it is.
Photo from...
It's just the isness of what is.
2015. I was going to say, it doesn't look like she's aged a day since I remember from a decade ago. TLDR on Kim Davis. She refused to issue marriage licenses to gay couples and argued that it was her religious right. But she was actually basically like proto MAGA, because it was before Trump took office, and she was really good at cry bullying and crying in front of the cameras and just making a gigantic media circus out of doing something that was unambiguously illegal. She was a county clerk. It was her responsibility to issue marriage licenses according to the laws of her state. And she was arguing, well, what if I don't want to? And that was actually taken seriously by a lot of Christian conservatives at the time.
And, you know, we asked the preacher, the justice of the peace, you know, about, you know, performing gay marriages. He said that he would do it. Some people objected to it. But I think by the time we got married in 2018, it was, you know, either you could choose to not do marriages at all. Like if you didn't want to do gay marriages, you would not be able to perform marriage ceremonies at all, or something like that. And we asked him how many gay couples that he marries a year. And he goes, I marry about 12 of you people every year. And I'm like, okay, you know, I don't expect older people or people who've never had to deal with gay people all that much, to even understand it or to even know what it's all about. I mean, some people go their whole lives without meeting a gay person in certain cities and maybe towns, villages, communes, cults. You might go your whole life without meeting a gay person. I mean, I've talked to people in Walmart and about being gay, and they're like, what? I can't believe you admitted being gay. Well, I'm a former meth addict too.
It makes sense she would return, I suppose. She's so fucking typical of this era of conservatism. Is it sexist to call her a Karen? Dude, yes, but also she's like an arch Karen.
Oh.
Like genuinely. It's wild to consider that argument looking back. It's like a vegan getting a job at a fish cannery and complaining they can't handle dead fish. Yeah, well, Christians get away with a lot in this country due to religious exemption.
They do. And that's the thing about it. They do get away with a lot of stuff because of religious exemptions. I mean, you can straight up be an embezzler, thief, and other various assorted things, and be a Christian. And look at the TV show The Righteous Gemstones. Y'all think that was a satire and a parody? I mean, there are people in my family who go to church every Sunday, And they're also virulent racists. They're mean, hateful people, but they still go to church. So just because somebody is a Christian, or if they claim that they're religious, doesn't mean that they're automatically good people. So, some of the Christians that I have known have been very vicious, hateful, mean, abusive people.
You see the same stuff with, like, you know, they still complain about the bake a cake bigot stuff, but yeah, there have been a bunch of, didn't Hobby Lobby do this as well? There's been a bunch of different like versions of this with Christian.
Yeah, but Hobby Lobby, they're cool. Like, we go to Hobby Lobby all the time. That's that. And here's another thing. Chick-fil-A, they have never been mean to gay people. Like, that's something that is a media invention. Hobby Lobby is closed on Sundays. Good for you. Go to church. Same thing with Chick-fil-A. Honey, y'all go to church and have fun. But nobody at Chick-fil-A has ever been mean to me. And besides, I've never seen a straight man work at Chick-fil-A. I've yet to see a straight man work at Chick-fil-A. And I'm just saying that the guys that work at Chick-fil-A act a little. Because we have a saying, you know, either they're gay or they're Christian. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two.
Saying like, well, being a good person is against my religious values, and then this gets taken seriously by the court system. While a strong majority of Americans favor equal marriage rights, support appears to have softened in recent years. 60% of Americans supported same-sex marriages in 2015, rising to 70% support in 2025, but that level has plateaued since 2020. Still, 70% is a pretty significant majority. I think religious freedom should not be a lefty value. I don't want any religion ever again. Well, what they're doing isn't religious freedom. Like Christian conservatives going to court and arguing that their religion gives them a special exemption isn't religious freedom. That's like a co-opted definition of religious freedom. In reality, what they're talking about is their ability to stochastically take away your rights because they're uncomfortable.
No fucking shit. Thank you for saying that. That's pretty damn clear. Christians have no chill, do they? Like, treating people as if they're subhuman. I mean, what would Jesus do if he met you? What would Jesus do if he met you? And all your hatred, like being sneaky about this. Oh my God, it's hateful. It's mean. It's actually disturbing that this can go on.
But that's not like that's not actually religious freedom. The government should stay the fuck out of it, right? Like, at the end of the day, the religious freedom means they have a right to be a Christian, but if that interferes with their job, they can just get their ass fired. 30% is the same as Trump's voting base, right? Not necessarily. Among Republicans, support has dipped over the past decade, down from 55% in 2021 to 41% this year.
That's not that, but gay people don't matter that much. They don't matter. I'm sorry to break it to you, gay people, but people don't think about you all that much.
Sheesh. 14 percentage point drop in just 4 years. The court is expected to formally consider Davis's petition this fall during a private conference. If the case
and I think the only reason support has dropped for gay marriage is because of all the ramming it down people's throats. Just the relentless shit. Like gay people on TV shows, and there's more gay people. Gay people are overrepresented on TV. Like, I'm from the days of, hey, thank you for making Will and Grace. We are fine. There doesn't need to be gay people everywhere because there's not gay people everywhere.
Is accepted, it would likely be scheduled for oral argument next spring and decided by the end of June 2026. The court could also decline the case, allowing a lower court ruling to stand and avoid entirely the request to revisit Obergefell. That still feels like it's more likely to me. Like with 70% support across the or like broadly across the country, the idea, I have more than 70% support for broads. Okay, we love them here. This feels like a very difficult line for them to take. But maybe not. They've disappointed me before. Ruling wouldn't invalidate existing marriages. Right. Yeah, we'll see. To be fair, when has the general public's feelings ever stopped them? It probably does pretty often, actually. Isn't this a nothing burger? Didn't Congress legalize gay marriage under Biden? Not exactly. The Respect for Marriage Act compelled all states to respect marriages that are officiated in other states. It basically means like Texas cannot say they don't officially recognize a marriage done in California. So what this does mean is that even if Obergefell is overturned and it's relegated back to the states, a gay couple could go to California to get married, and Texas would have to like grit their teeth and seethe about it. That being said, laws are pretty easy to overturn, so suppose we'll see. Yep.
And you know, this argument of marriage being a religious institution, marriage was a business contract. It's always been a business contract. I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but and also romantic love is a fairly new development. But I mean, you know, the fact that they say that marriage is between a man and a woman, I think that's just, I mean, it's just the way that it's always been in society. But come on, aren't we more evolved than this now? I mean, why can't gay people just get married? I don't understand the big deal. Why do you hate gay people so much?
Yo, chat, is Vosh slightly left channel heavy? Nope, because my microphone is set to mono. It's entirely you. You're delusional. You're insane. You're going mad. Question, is there any actual point in governments being involved in marriage? I feel like life could go fine without legal marriages. There are a lot of problems with marriage as it exists now, but I guess I do understand the idea of a nation, or a state, I suppose, being interested in encouraging certain types of social unions, especially now that we're living in an era of global
population complaints.
Not having children, right? Like declining birth rates. I feel like it would probably be good to evaluate what kind of incentive structures we can produce that might encourage people to keep that sweet 2.1 per couple birth rate. I'm not sure. Are there good ideas to improve it? I don't know. That's kind of beyond the scope of this segment.
So I'm going to give you my final word on all of this. People will be gay and people will be straight. Allowing gay people to marry makes them committed to each other and living a life together. Gay people just want to love each other. Gay people are not after kids. They're not after that. That's coming from some sick fucks that have nothing to do with me. I'm not promoting gayness. I don't go into churches and say, look at here. Here's me and my husband in happy gay matrimony. Anybody want some of this? Y'all want to get in? Because being gay is not easy. It's very difficult. I feel it's very rewarding. I mean, my perspective on life is different. You know, it takes all types of people. In God's house, there are many mansions. And one thing I know about gay men is that they have been traditionally in our culture artists, musicians. I mean, probably the reason that Hollywood sucks right now or movies got so terrible is because all the good guys died of AIDS. I'm not even joking about that. Gay people have had to put up with a lot of bullshit. So letting us get married doesn't even affect all that many people at all. Let's look at how many gay couples are married in the United States. Let's look at that. In the US, there were 62.18 married couples in 2023. Total married couples, 62.18 million. That's a lot of people. Wait. I was like, that's a lot of people. How many gay couples are married? Shoo, I thought I was in a new timeline. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. Okay, this seems logical. I was like, shit, did everybody turn gay? What? Did I go to bed in a heterosexual world? Did I wake up in a gay world? Okay. In the US, roughly 700,441 same-sex couple households were married in 2022. Total are approximately 1.2 million. Out of those, okay, there's approximately 1.2 million same-sex couple households. Roughly 500,000 were unmarried same-sex couples. Percentage of LGBT adults are married to same-sex, about 10%. So if there are 5% of people who are gay, 10% are married, it doesn't even matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. And yet again, y'all are using gay people as political pawns. You're fucking with our lives again. You're fucking with our lives, and what's the purpose? What's the point? Why spend all that money to try to get this overturned? Why even bother with it at all? You know, do you think Jesus would be down for all the shit you do in his name? You claim you're Christian, but you judge people, you hate on people, and now you're breaking up families? You may not agree with the way that my husband and I live our life, but I don't agree with the way Christians live their life either. So what are we going to do about this? Am I going to draft legislation to try to keep you from being Christian? No, because that's crazy. But like Vosh said, you're using religion as a way to get your way, to control people. And that is not what this is about. I will still maintain that Christianity is all about control and domination, and using Jesus. Jesus would have been down with the gays. For real. So I don't think that gay marriage is going to be overturned. But besides, what does gay marriage have to do with straight people? It doesn't. It doesn't. Let us live our lives. Let us serve God in our own way. And because, see, you think that you would think, like, as gay people, we are very spiritual. We're very religious. We're very spiritual. Not religious, but we have spiritual beliefs. And we do try to be more moral and better people on a daily basis. My husband and I are both in recovery. So to end this episode of the Shaman Patrick Show, I'm going to play you a song called What Would Jesus Do If He Met You? And I'm also going to play a slideshow of moments from my husband and our marriage so that you can see what a gay marriage actually looks like. I love you all so very much. If you would like to help grow this channel, please like and subscribe, comment, or use an emoji if you've got nothing to say. Share this content with others, join this channel, support the work we do, and get access to members-only videos and features. Also, don't forget, our new book, The Machinations of Ego, is out now. Get it, read it, and wake the fuck up. And don't forget that we love you. Yes, we do. And now we're going to listen to the AI song, What Would Jesus Do If He Met You?
They say they're walking in the light, but they're armed to the teeth for a holy fight. Quoting scripture like a loaded gun, point at the sinner, pull the trigger, then run. They wear his name like a Sunday crown, but they'll kick you in the ribs when you're already down. Preaching love from a golden stage, but they'll lock you out if you don't act your age. What would Jesus do? Spoon while the hungry man's howling at the moon. Turn his words into razor wire, build a fence round grace, then call it inspire. You preach forgiveness, but the list is short. Only friends of the king make it to the court. Mercy's free, but the toll's still steep. Guess the shepherd lost track of his sheep. What would Jesus do if he met you. He broke bread with the thief, he healed the unclean, he loved every outcast, not just the in-between, but you'd walk right past him, 'cause he looked like them, the very ones you never let in. What would Jesus do if he met you? Would he dance in your holy parade, or flip your table in the shade? Would he cry 'cause he already knew that you wear his name, but not his shoes? Tell me, what would Jesus do if he met you?